Jimmy Butler out with a torn ACL. Robert Saleh leaves the 49ers and is getting a head coaching job with the Titans. And is OKC still considered an all-time team? Let's dive in. So obviously the devastating news with Jimmy Butler is going to be my first topic in this segment called Top of the Dome, fresh off the dome. And as a Golden State Warriors fan, it's really devastating. And honestly, players were carrying him off the court and he was smiling. And I was thinking the way the injury looked, it kind of looked like a hyperextending of the knee, but that's not what it was. It was actually a torn ACL. And a lot of people are saying that because they're 49ers in attendance at the game that they jinxed it. And they brought the germs from that weird plant thing that they got out at Santa Clara. But this really does alter the Warriors season. While, in my opinion, we were hanging on to a glimmer of hope to maybe ride out this season and get in the play in, even though the Warriors were kind of turning it around and making positive strides because Brandon Podemsey has been playing good for the past couple weeks. Jimmy, after he made that whole "we're mediocre" comment, he has really started to come into his own. Horford isn't playing that bad, and all of these positive things are all we have left to look at besides Jimmy playing good, with that negative thing hanging over the franchise, which is the Jonathan Kuminga situation, which I vowed not to make another video about, but this is a ingredient since Jimmy Butler went down. To me, it kind of ramps up. What do you do without Jimmy now? And my opinion, you go straight for Jonathan Kuminga and you play him the same minutes that you play Jimmy. Because the big argument was when the Warriors acquired Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga was injured, and they said that they're kind of like the same two type of players. So one could be in, but the other couldn't. And with whatever rift that Steve Kerr got with Jonathan Kuminga, that has to be put on the back burner because the Warriors need Jonathan Kuminga right now. If you want to go the other way, just trade him as soon as possible, get what you can for him so we could put the focus back on the season. And the game on Tuesday against the Raptors, Jonathan Kuminga was finally put in and he soared. Really did good and he's catching alley-oops from Draymond Green and he's got a smile on his face and you really got to give him credit. This has been a hard situation and he has really come out of it smelling like roses a little bit. He could have went the whole other direction, but he didn't. And now that a big piece, Jimmy Butler, has went down, Kuminga has to be the key ingredient besides Steph. And in my opinion, I want him starting. Like, why wouldn't you? Who else do you got in that starting lineup that's going to help Steph and take some of the pressure off of Steph? Because that's what acquiring Jimmy Butler really did to Steph. Because to me, Steph was looking old and worn out before we got Jimmy Butler. So who's going to help Steph Curry out in that facet or who can right now? It's Jonathan Kuminga. So start him and just get stuff rolling, at least for the next 2 weeks. If you end up wanting to trade him, it's been a long journey and I guess just do it. But you got to see what you have with Jonathan Kuminga. And if anything else, this is your asset that you're trying to trade. So why not showcase him in the next 2 weeks and see these teams start to perk up and be like, yeah, we'll offer you this, blah, blah, blah. He needs to play. And that's kind of the aftermath of the Jimmy Butler injury is they need to play Jonathan Kuminga. Steve Kerr needs to stop being a stubborn old fart and just try new things. Because the past 3 seasons, it's just been a struggle. Like itching out wins, having to rely on Steph Curry only for these box office moments that win you games. He can't do that every game. He could, but it just might not happen. Now let's move on to the OKC Thunder. And my whole thing, and I said in last episode, is that I don't like giving flowers to people, athletes, teams before they deserve it. I don't give flowers based on aspiration. It's not about your words, it's about your actions. And the OKC Thunder, while they did win the championship last year, and credit to them, the fact that these media outlets and analysts are saying that the OKC Thunder are rivaling the Golden State Warriors for being a top team all time is just crazy. And granted, they were doing that because they look good fresh out of the gates. And they were saying, could they rival the 73-9 season that the Warriors had? But as soon as that talk happened, look what happened. And I was the first one, maybe not the first, but at least first in my world. I said that they were not an all time team yet, and they were going to stumble. What starts happening after that? They lost two to the San Antonio Spurs, and then they even lose to the Miami Heat. I know I'm probably missing another team that they lost to, but now they currently sit with 8 losses. And we all know what goes on during the NBA season. There's no way that they're going to not lose another game the rest of the season when basically they're at the 44 game mark right now. But it's okay because OKC is a solid team. But we got to stop doing this. And because players and teams achieve one accolade, that we start crowning them and be like, oh, they're the best ever. And we've never seen anything like this before. Or they're so young that they're going to last forever. And they're going to be like a 10 championship dynasty. Get out of here. Let's get real. The youth is probably affecting them right now. And while SGA is a very solid player, I've never been high on him. I think his game is simple. And the fact that these teams are beating them right now, I think they're kind of figuring him out. People want to compare him to Kobe. Are you shitting me? Please. The fact that SGA don't even have a cool 3-point game. I feel like all he does, even though he's effective at it, is he goes down to the post, does a little jump stop or fade away, a little easy 2-point shot, and he's consistent at that. It's like, what other, like, do you drive to the lane often? Do you got moves down there? Like, I just want to see more before I'm like, yeah, this guy is one of the best two guards ever. So a lot of accolades being given out, like calling Jalen Williams Scottie Pippen because he had, a decent playoff series or two. The reality is, let's get real and stop giving these teams and players flowers before they deserve them. That's all I'm saying. Now to Robert Saleh accepting the Tennessee Titans head coaching job. As a 49er fan, yeah, I'm kind of devastated. Robert Saleh really did resurrect this defense, and the fact that we were so depleted and he kept us competitive is just a credit to him. Who he is as a coach is just something phenomenal. His intensity, the way he just loves his players, and the way that the players want to play for Robert Saleh. That's why he was one of the most coveted head coaching candidates in this year's cycle. And honestly, I don't know how the 49ers are going to recover because the candidates I hear right now is Gus Bradley, Raheem. You know what Raheem I'm talking about, which I would be a fan of. And before Mike McDaniel went to the Chargers, he was definitely someone that was getting floated around. So it is very devastating for the 49ers, but to turn the page and go to his second head coaching job now with the Tennessee Titans. I think he has something that he didn't have with the Jets. I think he's now going to have a consistent quarterback because he got caught in the middle of that whole Aaron Rodgers era when he just wasn't the Aaron Rodgers that we were all used to. Now he has a consistent year two quarterback. And for Cam Ward, this is very important. And I think Saleh could really mold him into something special. While I don't know about like many high profile names on the defense, just look what he did with the Niners this year. You're telling me he can't whip that up into maybe a middle of the pack defense at least? So I think he will very much so do a good job in Tennessee. And the offense right now, they got key players. They got Pollard, they got Spears. And as far as receivers, I think they got Calvin Ridley if I'm right about that. So there is work to be done, but I think there's nobody more capable at this job than Robert Saleh, and I do think he got an unfair shake when he was with the Jets. So this is his time to shine once again, and I feel like he will do a really good job in Tennessee. It might not be the first year we see them in playoff contention, but the building that he will do in Tennessee, I think will show what kind of incredible coach that Robert Saleh is. But like always, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you drop a like, drop a comment. Do you agree with what I said in this episode? If not, flood the comments. I want to hear what you got to say. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is the Authentic Take. Until next time.